So Zane Anderson and Devondre Campbell did not participate, and then limited were Jair, Rudy Ford, Elgton Jenkins, Aaron Jones, John Runyon, Eric Stokes, Zach Tom, and Christian Watson.
How's Jair looked? Obviously, he's got a big matchup coming up.
Yeah, for the limited reps that he's been in there, I think he's looked all right, and we'll see how he progresses and see how he feels, and hopefully get him to Monday.
That's 3 practices for Elgton this week. Is there anything from here to kick off that you still need to see to feel that he's comfortable, ready to go?
Just continuing to progress.
What would it mean for your line to have him and John and Zach, even if they're not 100% out there?
Yeah, I think anytime you get a player of the caliber of Elgton Jenkins, that's huge for you, and to have all those guys out there would be great. Definitely has played a lot of ball at a high level for us, and brings a mentality to our line that I think that we need.
I don't know you want to watch the practice tape, but how did John look to you? Obviously, that's an important piece if he's able to go.
Yeah, I think, just from the limited reps he was in there, I think he looked all right. But again, you got to go back and kind of look at it under a different lens.
You guys always try to play it safe and smart with guys. Offensive linemen, though, they're well known for playing through stuff, right? Like, is there a little protect them against themselves kind of a deal when it comes to those guys?
I think certainly with certain individuals, absolutely. I think, any competitor, they want to be out there, and they're going to do whatever they can to get out there, and I would definitely put him in that category.
Matt, is there any added challenge or extra thought or consideration given when you take your team into a new stadium that essentially you've never been to before, most of the team hasn't been there before, or is it not really part of the process?
Yeah, I think you got to play your best regardless where you're playing, and you got to try to drown that out as best you can, and adapt to the environment very quickly. So I think these guys are professionals. We play in a lot of different venues, so for me, it's not that big of a concern.
Along those lines, we saw a lot of Lions fans here last week. You obviously see a lot of Packers fans wherever you guys go on the road. With the way it is now, does that diminish in any way home field advantage just because there are so many road fans week in, week out?
I think it only truly impacts when it makes a difference in either team's snap count. I think that's where it holds the biggest advantage. I know certain teams in this league have to go on the silent count at home, and that's a big time disadvantage, because you look at the D lines in this league, and when the offense has to go on a silent count and you're playing against some real pass rushers, that becomes a big time disadvantage. It messes with just your overall timing on the offensive side of the ball.
Do you encounter fewer snap count challenges on the road than you used to? The rise of secondary ticket markets and all that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I still think anytime you go into somebody else's place, it typically is still pretty loud, and I would say the most part, I can't think of too many times where we haven't had to use silent count. I think a couple of years ago, back when we played the Chargers, when they were playing, 2019, there was a lot of green and yellow in there, but unfortunately, it didn't really help us that day. So I think every game's a little different deal.
I saw a story where just about every flight out of Wisconsin to Vegas is booked with Packer fans. Does it ever cease to amaze you how well your fans travel?
Oh, we got great fans. I think this is the best fan base in all sports. So hopefully they show up and they're loud for us.
Can't wait till they do the wave on offense.
We're not at home, so it won't happen.
You treat your guys like grown-ups, and you can get into trouble anywhere on the road. I get that. But are there any sort of different reminders that you give guys when they go? I mean, you've never been to Vegas for a game before. Is there any level of just an extra layer of reminders?
I think, yeah, absolutely. We're there for, I know it's coach speak, but we always talk about being on a business trip, but that's the reality of it. We're going there to win a football game. Monday Night Football against a team that I think has a lot of talent, and they haven't played their best ball yet. So I expect them to be at their best on Monday night. And, we're going to have to be at ours in order to give ourselves a chance. And so if the guys want to go back out to Vegas on Tuesday evening after we get back here, they're more than welcome to. But it's about that game. And I do think there's some different challenges in regards to I shouldn't say challenges, but you got to inform the guys on the rules. Like, we are staying at a hotel that has a casino. You cannot go in that casino. That is against the NFL rules. So that's just part of the deal. I want to make sure our guys are educated on that so they don't put themselves or our squad in a bad position.
AJ's played a lot of good football for you, Dylan, as far as breaking tackles and moving pals and all that stuff. How do you get him back to that level?
I think we have not seen his best ball this year, and I'm confident that he's working hard, and that we're going to see that eventually, and hopefully sooner than later. I haven't lost confidence in him, and we're going to continue to kind of look at some of the things we ask him to do and try to put him in the best possible position, because too many times I think the microscope gets on one guy, when in reality it takes 11 guys out there doing their job to give each individual the best chance at success. So I do think that there's a lot of things that we can do, whether it's the offensive line, whether it's our tight ends or receivers, whether it's myself as a play caller, putting our guys in position where they can really showcase what they can do.
So in the run game, is there a schematic element to helping the offensive line, or is it more of just they have to go out and do their one-on-one?
Yeah, I think that it's all of the above. There's certain schemes that I can. I know this. A couple weeks. Week 1 versus Chicago, we ran a toss play versus a wide 9 technique, and AJ loses 4 yards. Is that on the offensive line? Is that on the tight end? No, it's on me. So I think there's always schematics that play into it in terms of what you're asking your guys to do. We had a call last week versus Detroit where Aaron Jones got blown up on that option play, and they put base defense out there. I shouldn't have called the play. So, yeah, as a play caller, you take responsibility for that. You own that, and you got to make sure that if they do surprise you and give you a different look or give you a different personnel, that you have something right away that you can get to that puts your guys in a much more optimal position for them to go out there and succeed.
Every coach, every week, gets asked about how much it opens up the offense when a playmaker that touches the football gets back off injury. But when you have an offensive line coming back together, as you might this week, how much does that open up the offense for you as a play caller?
Yeah, I think it's just you got more comfort in those guys and more confidence that they're going to be able to go out there and execute at a high level. And but we all got to do it. We got to get them a good play, and then they got to go out there and execute.
Devontae said yesterday, he doesn't talk to you all the time, obviously, but he said he's reached out to you a couple times on your birthday and stuff like that. Just how special of a player did you get to watch every day while he was here? And does that set a standard, an example for all these young guys who haven't actually played with him but know his story?
Yeah, I think just watching his practice habits and then watching his ability to go out there and perform at a high level and watch him go through there's a lot of things that impact players, performance on the field that happen off the field. I mean, I got so much respect for everything that he was able to do. He played through a contract year, played injured, and not everybody does that, and he was there for our team. He fought through things, and he went out there and he told me before the season, he's like, hey, listen, if I don't have a contract, before the season, you don't have to worry about it because I'm going to come out there and compete. And I've always respected him at an even higher level than I already did for his ability to compartmentalize just the human element of this game, because not everybody can do that. And he's a phenomenal person. He's a hell of a competitor, one of the best competitors I feel like I've ever been around in this game. And it's not a surprise that he's continued to produce because I just know how this guy's wired. And he's an ultimate competitor, and he makes everybody around him better. And it's because of the standards that he holds himself to, and when your best players are holding themselves to that type of standard, I mean, nobody else can say anything about it. So I've got the utmost respect for Devontae Adams.